Alright folks, gather round. Ever heard of a snack with sass? Well, meet Johnny Cake. Our story kicks off in a cozy little cottage, sun just peeking over the hills. Inside lives a kindly old man, a salt-of-the-earth old woman, and their energetic little boy, Pip. It's breakfast time and the air is thick with anticipation, not just for bacon, but for the legendary Johnny Cake the old woman is famous for. She hums a cheerful tune, gathering ingredients, completely unaware she's about to bake a legend or maybe a runaway menace. Let the Great Bake-Off begin. Flour flies, milk splashes, a dollop of molasses for sweetness. This isn't just any Johnny Cake, it's the asterisk Johnny Cake. The old woman mixes with practiced ease, her movements a familiar dance. Pip bounces in his seat asking a million questions. Is it ready yet? Can I lick the spoon? Will it be extra big today? The old man chuckles, recalling past Johnny Cake adventures. Little do they know, this particular batch has an extra ingredient, a spark of pure, unadulterated mischief baked right into its golden brown core. The oven waits, preheating ominously. They hurry back just as Pip bursts out, pointing frantically down the road. It went that way, it's rolling super fast. Seeing the empty oven and the open door confirms Pip's wild tale. Well, I'll be, mutters the old man, after it. Cries the old woman, surprisingly spry, and so the unlikely trio gives chase. The little boy sprinting with youthful energy, the old woman hiking up her skirts, and the old man puffing along gallantly. 3 against 1 edible escapee. The odds seem stacked, but Johnny Cake has momentum on its side. But oh, that Johnny Cake is a speed demon. It rolls and rolls, effortlessly navigating bumps and pebbles on the country road. The family pumps their arms, legs churning, but the gap widens. Soon, Johnny Cake is just a distant brown dot vanishing around a bend. Pip collapses onto a grassy bank by the roadside, gasping for breath. The old man and woman arrive moments later, leaning on their knees, chests heaving. Never seen a cake move so fast, wheezes the old man. Defeated for now, they sit beside Pip, watching the empty road. Meanwhile, Johnny Cake, feeling rather pleased with itself, continues its merry roll. It zips past fields of grazing sheep, who merely baa in mild confusion, and under the shade of ancient oak trees. The world is wide and full of possibilities when you're a runaway snack. Up ahead, it spots 2 figures rhythmically lifting and dropping heavy tools into the earth. They're digging a well, sweat glistening on their brows under the midday sun. Oblivious to the approaching pastry phenomenon, they toil away, focused on finding water. They're about to get a surprise. As Johnny Cake rolls closer, one of the well diggers, wiping his brow, spots the unusual sight. "Oi, Bill, look at that," he exclaims, nudging his companion. Bill leans on his shovel, squinting. "Blimey, is that a cake?" They both stare as the golden disc zips towards them. "Where ye going, Johnny Cake?" calls out the first digger, half joking. This is Johnny Cake's cue. It puffs itself up, metaphorically of course, and prepares its now famous boast. Diggers are intrigued, but mostly just baffled by the rolling breakfast item. Feeling cocky, Johnny Cake replies in a surprisingly clear, rolling voice, "I've outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy, and I can outrun you too." The 2-0 echoes slightly, full of audacious confidence. The well diggers look at each other, then burst out laughing. "Outrun us, a little cake like you," says Bill. "Ye can ye? We'll see about that," replies his mate. Challenge accepted. They toss their pick and shovel aside with a clatter, ready to prove this pastry wrong. And they're off. The 2 well diggers, surprisingly agile despite their heavy work, sprint after the rolling Johnny Cake. Their heavy boots pound the dirt road. "Get back here, you tasty rascal," shouts Bill. But Johnny Cake is just too fast, too round, too aerodynamic. It rolls effortlessly, weaving slightly, almost seeming to taunt them. They run hard, kicking up dust, but the gap between them and the speedy snack only grows. It's like trying to catch a greased cannonball made of cornmeal. Soon, the well diggers are lagging behind, panting heavily. "Blast it, Bill," gasps one, slowing to a jog. "He's too quick." Bill, also winded, nods in agreement. "Never thought I'd be outrun by breakfast." They watch Johnny Cake disappear around another bend, a small, defiant circle against the green landscape. Defeated, they slump down by the roadside near their half-dug well, shaking their heads in disbelief and catching their breath. Round 2 goes to Johnny Cake. Onward rolls Johnny Cake, feeling invincible. It hums a little rolling tune to itself. The sun climbs higher. It passes a field where cows chew cud placidly, completely unimpressed by the rolling phenomenon. Further down the road, it hears the rhythmic asterisk schlick thump asterisk of shovels hitting wet earth. Two more men, these ones covered in mud, are hard at work digging a ditch alongside the road, deepening a channel for water. They are engrossed in their task, backs bent, muscles straining. Another pair of unsuspecting humans. Splash! Johnnycake rolls right through a muddy puddle near the ditch, splattering one of the diggers. "Oi, what was that?" he exclaims, looking up annoyed. He sees the muddy yet still cheerful-looking Johnnycake rolling past. His companion looks up too. "Well, looky here, a runaway meal," he chuckles, leaning on his spade. "Were ye going in such a hurry, Johnnycake?" calls the first, wiping mud off his face. "Here we go again." Johnnycake prepares its updated, even more impressive list of conquests. Taking center stage or center road, Johnnycake declares proudly, "I've outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and two well diggers, and I can outrun you too." The boast is getting longer, the confidence bordering on pure arrogance. The ditch diggers exchange amused glances. "Is that so?" says one. "A tough little biscuit, ain't ya?" adds the other. Can ye? We'll see about that." They drop their spades with a asterisk thwump in the mud and take off after the rolling cake. With a final pat and shaping, the perfect disc of dough is ready. It looks innocent enough, doesn't it? Just a humble circle of cornmeal goodness. The old woman slides it carefully onto a baking peel. Pip bounces, nearly vibrating with excitement. "Into the fiery belly," he declares dramatically, pointing at the cast-iron oven. The old woman laughs, opens the hot oven door with a mittened hand, revealing the glowing embers within. A wave of warmth washes over the kitchen. This Johnnycake seems almost eager to get in there, suspiciously eager. The ditch diggers are used to mucky terrain, but Johnnycake seems unaffected by the mud. It rolls on, surprisingly clean, leaving the two men slipping and sliding slightly as they try to gain purchase on the muddy verge. "Grab him!" shouts one. "He's faster than he looks," yells the other. They put on a burst of speed, but Johnnycake, fueled by pure, unadulterated ego, simply rolls faster. It's almost like it enjoys the chase, the thrill of outsmarting yet another pair of pursuers. It's no contest. The ditch diggers, already tired from their labor, quickly realize they're beaten. All right, you win," pants one, slowing down. "Let him go, Alf. No cake is worth a pulled muscle." Alf nods, equally breathless. They watch the little brown disc disappear into the distance. "Strangest thing I've seen all day," Alf mutters, picking up his spade. They return to their ditch, defeated and slightly bewildered, leaving Johnnycake to continue its triumphant journey, adding two more notches to its metaphorical belt. Johnnycake is on a roll, literally. It enters a patch of shady woodland, the road dappling with sunlight filtering through the leaves. Birds chirp overhead. It feels like a king, the undisputed champion of escaping things. Suddenly, a large, furry shape ambles out from behind a thick oak tree. It's a bear. Big, brown, and looking slightly sleepy, the bear blinks in the sunlight, scratches its side against the tree bark, and then spots the unusual rolling object. It lumbers closer, curiosity piqued. The bear lets out a low rumble, more curious than threatening. Grrrrumph, which roughly translates to, "Well, hello there, you're not a berry." Then, in a slow, deep voice, it asks, "Where are ye going, little round food thing?" Johnnycake, not the least bit intimidated by the large predator, skids to a brief halt. Time for the performance. Its list of escapees is getting impressively long now, and it can't wait to add bear to the roster. It clears its non-existent throat. "I've outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and two well diggers and two ditch diggers, and I can outrun you too," Johnnycake proclaims, its voice echoing slightly among the trees. The bear blinks slowly. "Outrun asterisk him, the mighty forest dweller," a low growl starts in its chest. "Ye can ye?" rumbles the bear, sounding slightly offended now. "We'll see about that." With surprising speed for its size, the bear lowers its head and begins to trot, then run, after the rolling cake. The chase is on. Through the woods they go, Johnnycake rolling smoothly over roots and around fallen leaves, the bear crashing through the underbrush behind it. Twigs snap, birds flutter away in alarm. For a moment, it looks like the bear's long strides might close the gap. But Johnnycake is nimble. It zips under low branches the bear has to duck, rolls through tight spots the bear struggles with. The bear roars in frustration, but the little cake just keeps rolling, always just out of reach. After a frantic chase through the woods, the bear starts to tire. Its heavy panting echoes through the trees. Johnny Cake, however, seems tireless. It pops out of the woods back onto the open road, leaving the bear lumbering far behind. The bear slows to a stop at the edge of the forest, breathing heavily. It watches the small, brown circle disappear down the road. With a weary sigh that sounds suspiciously like, "Fine, have it your way," the bear gives up and stretches out by the roadside for a well-deserved rest. Another victory. Johnny Cake is feeling utterly smug now. Outrunning humans is one thing, but a bear, that's top-tier escaping. It rolls along, whistling its rolling tune, basking in the glory of its own speed. The landscape becomes a little wilder, scrubbier. Then, trotting silently along the edge of the road, appears a lean, gray wolf. Its yellow eyes fix instantly on the rolling morsel. The wolf stops, its body tense, head low. It watches Johnny Cake approach with predatory calculation. This opponent looks faster and perhaps smarter than the bear. The wolf doesn't waste time with pleasantries. Its voice is a low snarl. "Where ye going, Johnny Cake?" Quick, sharp, to the point. Johnny Cake, bursting with pride, practically shouts its ever-growing list. "I've outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and 2 well diggers and 2 ditch diggers and a bear, and I can outrun you too." Oh. It barely finishes the boast before the wolf reacts. This isn't a curious inquiry. It's a hunter sizing up prey. "Ye can ye?" snarls the wolf, its voice dripping with challenge. "We'll see about that." And with a powerful push from its hind legs, the wolf breaks into a swift gallop, instantly closing much of the distance. This is different. The wolf is fast, its movements fluid and efficient. Johnny Cake has to put on a real burst of speed, rolling for its life now. The casual confidence evaporates slightly, replaced by the frantic need to escape those sharp teeth snapping just behind it. The oven door clangs shut. "Now, Pip," says the old woman, wagging a finger playfully, "your father and I have potatoes to conquer in the garden. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is guard duty. Level Johnny Cake. Keep an eye on it. No burning, no escaping." Pip puffs out his chest, saluting smartly. "Aye, aye, Captain," he chirps, famous last words, eh? The old man grabs his hoe, the old woman takes hers, and out they potter into the sunny garden, leaving Pip, the sole guardian of the soon-to-be sentient snack. It's a true race. Johnny Cake weaves, the wolf follows, anticipating its moves. For several minutes, the wolf stays dangerously close. Johnny Cake can hear its paws pounding the earth, feel its hot breath. But eventually, even the wolf's impressive stamina begins to fade against the relentless, friction-defying roll of the Johnny Cake. The gap slowly widens. The wolf, realizing the chase is futile, slows its pace, tongue lolling, watching the irritatingly fast pastry escape once more. Lets out a frustrated howl. Defeated, the wolf slumps down by the roadside to rest, muttering wolfish curses under its breath. Johnny Cake, meanwhile, feels like the undisputed champion of the world. An old man, an old woman, a boy, diggers, a bear, and a wolf. Who could possibly stop it now? It rolls on, ego inflated to maximum capacity, perhaps not paying quite as much attention to its surroundings as it should. Up ahead, nestled quietly in a sunny corner by a rail fence, lies a creature known for its cunning. It's a fox, sleek reddish-orange fur, a bushy tail curled neatly around it. It appears to be dozing in the warm sun, but as Johnny Cake rolls closer, one sharp eye cracks open. The fox watches the approaching Cake, a thoughtful, calculating expression crossing its pointed face. It doesn't jump up, it doesn't give chase. Instead, it calls out in a clear, sharp voice, but without even lifting its head, "Where ye going, Johnny Cake?" Calm, casual, almost dismissive, a different tactic entirely. Johnny Cake, bursting with its triumphs, belts out its longest boast yet. "I've outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and 2 well diggers and 2 ditch diggers, a bear and a wolf, and I can outrun you too." Oh. It expects the fox to leap up, to give chase like all the others, but the fox just tilts its head slightly, cupping a paw behind its ear. "I can't quite hear you, Johnny Cake," it says, feigning deafness. "The wind, you know. Would you come a little closer?" For the first time in its rolling life, Johnny Cake stops. Its momentum halts. Pride and the desire to ensure everyone hears its incredible achievements overrides caution. It rolls a few steps closer to the fence corner where the fox lies, still looking deceptively relaxed. "I said," Johnny Cake yells, much louder this time, "I've outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and 2 well diggers and 2 ditch diggers and a bear and a wolf, and I can outrun you too." Oh. The fox squints, leaning its neck out further. "So sorry," it says, its voice sounding weaker now, almost frail. "My ears aren't what they used to be, just a little bit closer, right up close to my ear, if you wouldn't mind." Oh, the vanity of Johnny Cake, it puffs up with importance, eager to deliver its message directly. Completely forgetting the speed that saved it so many times, it rolls right up next to the fox's head, leaning inconspiratorially. Big mistake, huge. Leaning right towards the fox's pointy ear, Johnny Cake screams at the top of its non-existent lungs. "I've outrun an old man and an old woman and a little boy and two diggers and two ditch diggers and a bear and a wolf, and I can't outrun you too." The words hang in the air for a split second. The fox's eyes snap open, sharp and triumphant. "You can you?" It yelps faster than thought. Snap. In the twinkling of an eye, the fox's sharp teeth close around the poor, unsuspecting Johnny Cake. There's a faint asterisk crumble sound, and just like that, the great race is over. The speedy, boastful Johnny Cake, who outran man and beast, is finally outsmarted by a cunning fox. All that remains are a few crumbs on the fox's whiskers as it sits up, looking decidedly pleased with itself, perhaps licking its chops. Cautionary tale, folks, pride in stopping to boast goeth before a fall, or becoming foxy lunch. Duty calls. Pip pulls up a small wooden stool, positioning himself strategically before the oven. He stares intently at the iron door. 1 minute passes, 2 minutes. The smell of baking Johnny Cake starts to fill the air, warm, sweet, irresistible. Pip's stomach rumbles. He imagines the crispy edges, the soft center, maybe just a tiny peek wouldn't hurt. He fiddles with a loose thread on his overalls. The silence is broken only by the crackle from the oven and the distant sounds of hoeing. Vigilance is hard work, especially for a little boy. Oh, look, a butterfly, a particularly dazzling blue one, flutters past the kitchen window. Pip's eyes, previously glued to the oven, snap towards the colorful distraction. It dances just outside, weaving between the flower pots. Forgetting his crucial mission entirely, Pip scrambles off the stool and presses his nose against the windowpane, captivated. "Wow," he breathes. Meanwhile, inside the oven, behind the ignored iron door, something magical or perhaps chaotic is happening. Johnny Cake is puffing up, golden and perfectly baked, and maybe just a little bit restless. Suddenly, clang, a noise from the oven snaps Pip out of his butterfly trance. He whips his head around. The oven door isn't just closed anymore, it's bulging outwards slightly, rattling against its latch. Wiggle, wiggle, bang, the latch gives way and the heavy iron door swings open with surprising force. Pip's jaw drops. He stares wide-eyed, frozen in disbelief. Did that just happen? Before he can even process it, a golden brown disc, perfectly cooked and somehow, smirking, leaps from the fiery depths of the oven onto the kitchen floor. It lands with a soft asterisk thump, wobbles for a second and then, incredibly, starts rolling. End over end, like a runaway wheel of delicious doom, it makes a beeline for the open cottage door. Whoa, stop. Pip yells, finally snapping into action. He scrambles towards the door, arms outstretched, trying to block the escape route. But this Johnny Cake is fast, faster than any baked good has a right to be. It zips past Pip's flailing grasp, its little cartoon eyes twinkling with glee. Freedom tastes sweeter than molasses. Too late. With a final, triumphant roll, Johnny Cake sails through the open doorway, bounces down the 3 stone steps outside, and lands smoothly on the dirt path leading away from the cottage. It doesn't pause, doesn't hesitate, just keeps rolling, picking up speed. Pip reaches the doorway, panting, just in time to see the audacious pastry disappearing down the path. "Mum, Dad, it got away." The Johnny Cake ran away. He screams, his voice cracking with panic and disbelief. The great escape is officially underway, folks. Out in the garden, amidst the potato plants, the old man and woman hear the commotion. "Did you hear that, Martha?" the old man asks, leaning on his hoe. Sounded like Pip. Then comes the unmistakable cry, "The Johnny Cake ran away." They exchange bewildered glances. "Ran away? Preposterous," declares the old woman, but Pip's continued yelling confirms the unbelievable. With identical expressions of shock, they drop their hoes with a clatter amongst the potato leaves and turn towards the cottage, ready to investigate this culinary crisis.